Welcome back to Games Revealed. I'm James and also Brink, and we are one community. Today, I want to talk about something that's just easy to talk about because it's going to be on how I've been playing the Steam Deck for 2 years, how my experience has been with the Valve ecosystem, and how I still recommend it to this day. There's so much to this device that, and so little in the sense of you can pick it up, put it down really quick. So there's a lot that I want to talk about. Before we get into it, make sure to like, subscribe, bash that bell with your crowbar. I haven't done that in a little bit, and I just want to bring us back to the good old days when we first started the Steam Deck stuff on this channel, and start out the video in a very similar fashion for you oldies out there. If you're new here, this is how we do things sometimes. If it's a newer video, probably not. Let's get into this. The Steam Deck is a very good device when it comes to playing old to semi-newer games, let's say. It is not good at playing newer games. Let's say if the game came out in 2023, 2024, there's a 50% chance it's just not going to play it very well, depending on how intense it is. If it's an indie game that has simple graphics, most likely it will play it, as long as there's no limitations when it comes to the translation layer, which there are more and more games, even if it's not supported, that just run on Proton. Like, it's getting to the point where I'd be surprised if a game does not run on Proton with the Steam Deck. Valve has done a great job of continually supporting the software. This is, if you don't know what Proton is, it is essentially the software that allows for the Steam Deck to have a Linux operating system, something that's not Windows, that these games were not built to run on, to translate it and run it on the Steam Deck. And because they control that whole translation layer, they control a lot of portions of this and a lot of the lower end software, they're able to have a very smooth resume and suspend feature. I'd have to say that's probably one of my favorite things about the Steam Deck. Honestly, picking up the device, being able to play it, being able to put it down for a second, just paused, and not have it drain all my battery because I can put it to suspend, and then picking back up a couple hours later and playing my games again. With my lifestyle, with the way I have to do work, and with the way I have kids and family, it makes it easier for me to get through certain games in my backlog. I would definitely have to say the easiest feature for me to just love on the Steam Deck is to have a console-like experience on the go. I don't need to get into the weeds of other parts of the operating system when I want to play games. That's why I bought the Steam Deck. I have a laptop for doing laptop things. I don't mind playing games every once in a while on the laptop, but I have a Steam Deck to play games. I don't have it to do anything else except for tinkering for the channel, of course. You'll see some other videos I've made where I've done guides and all that, but ultimately what my personal usage is just picking up and playing it. And I have such a large backlog, and pretty much everyone here probably does it. If you're watching this, it wouldn't be hard to go and even find free games to create your backlog very quickly. I could challenge probably anyone to have 20 games in their backlog by the end of the month with $20, $30. Between all the sales that go on with all the different software publishers and software websites and all that out, like gaming websites that is out there, it would not be hard for you to go and gather a huge list. Plus, if you don't know this, Epic Games has new games almost weekly on there. Not new games, but free games. So, and sometimes they're newer. So if you haven't been doing so yet, go and start claiming those free games, as that will grow your backlog really quickly. And they have had amazing games on there. I believe they've even had GTA 5 on there. So go get those things. Who knows? They might have GTA 5 again. I've seen games rotated around again. Now, with the Epic Games Launcher, you have to go into desktop mode and you have to install something like Heroic or it's one of the other third-party Epic Games launchers. But at the end of the day, it's just a little bit extra work for a bunch of free games. You do you. There's a lot of tutorials, including I have a tutorial out there. Now, 2 years. I will have to say that, like I said, for old to semi-new games, it runs pretty good. Like, sometimes I'm wishing, like with Witcher 3, it just looked a little better, or Cyberpunk 2077. I've never got it to run like really well on there. I know people have claimed otherwise. I have not got it to run like how well I want it to. And I'm not saying 60 frames. I'm just saying it dips too much past 30, and I gotta be consistently about 70-80% in that 30 or above FPS range for stability. Like, you start getting just like, it's hard to aim and kill guys, games like that where I really do Cyberpunk 2077. And if I even said that, sometimes I blur my numbers. I've gotten to the point where if I've played it before and beaten it, or if it's an old enough game, I can max it out, or I can suffice with what the Steam Deck can offer, or stream it. There's another option. You can stream it from your desktop if you have a desktop. But if you're only getting a Steam Deck and that's all you have for gaming, just know that it won't play every game out there. If you have Fortnite and all that, like it's just not going to play those games because of Epic's decision. They had to give us a lot of free games, but they made the decision not to support Linux. And so if you try to get it to work on there, there's a potential that they'll ban your account. So don't try doing that. Roblox is similar. And it's not perfect, so definitely do your research. But for most people, especially if you don't do online gaming like MMOs and all the other stuff, the Steam Deck might be your perfect device. But there's also the Ally, the Legion Go, and then the Ally X is coming out soon. And I have to say, those will pretty much play any game you throw at it. Once again, it's not going to be perfect looking, meaning it's not going to beat my 3090 over here, but I've been able to play almost every game at medium settings, and that's about good enough for me. I think you'd be surprised at how good a game can look on that small of a screen at medium settings. If you put it onto the TV, that's when you start to notice a little bit, but if you're playing Doom Eternal, and you set it to, I think, high, you probably wouldn't want to set it to like a 4K resolution, maybe a 1080, have the upscaling work in your favor with FSR. There's a lot of settings that you could go about doing that to really just, that game looks amazing. And it's a testament to those developers to what they know they're doing. But that game is definitely worth playing. And it's a great example of you can have great looking graphics on the Steam Deck. Now, I'm over my rambling with this whole thing. You can go look up what games that you want to play that are supported for the Steam Deck. This isn't even supposed to be a recommended video for the Steam Deck. I'm not supposed to be selling the Steam Deck. It's just, it's such an interesting place where it has 15,000 titles essentially that are supported. That's really large. That's way bigger than the Nintendo Switch. And if you include all the stuff that does work, like Ghost of Tsushima, but it still says it's unsupported because the multiplayer portion doesn't work. Yeah, games are definitely the weak part, especially as we've gotten the Ally and the Legion Go when it comes to compatibility. And I would say in comparison, still an amazing device. It's still my favorite device out of the three. It went Steam Deck for a year and a half. Then I got the ROG Ally, and at first I was like, I wasn't sure. And then I started really playing it, and I just really enjoyed how just it could play things like Starfield. It played Starfield much better than my Steam Deck. Like Starfield is a great example. I don't necessarily need that thing to look really good all the time. I'm going to be wandering a lot, so I want to be able to do it wherever I'm going because I'm going to be putting 100 hours into that game. And if I'm putting 100 hours into it, I don't want to be sitting in front of my computer the whole time. I want to do it while I'm hanging out with the family, doing pretend family time with them, but not necessarily. Like it depends. When they have their activities, I'll have my activity, and that's my activity. It just all depends. I'm going to go change the oil. That's 20, 30 minutes. It just all adds up over time. The Steam Deck is still king in my eyes when it comes to, if I'm grabbing a device to go, it's going to be the Steam Deck most likely. The ROG Ally is nice, but I still have so many games to beat on the Steam Deck. Then on top of that, the D-brand kill switch case makes it an extra plus for me. I don't have to, I just grab the device and I can toss it wherever I want. I don't toss it too hard, but I can toss it. And I can't not say how much I love that case for that device. It's my favorite thing. D-brand has a kill switch for Asus Ally now, but with the Ally X coming out with a bit different form factor, I don't think there's going to be compatibilities. We'll see. And if you're buying an Ally after the X comes out, you'll probably just want to get the X. Even though it will be a little bit more, it will be worth that extra battery. Now, the Steam Deck is a flawed device like we've talked about, but its ease of playing, and if you have a backlog, just still make it the king today. The last 2 years have been amazing with this thing. I've been able to pound out a bunch of different games, at least partially. Like, I haven't beaten that many games on it solely, but I've been able to play games and start games that I just been meaning to play for years. One of the ones I played from start to finish on it without even quitting out of the game was Shadow of Mordor, and it was really good. I really like it. That game looks really good on the deck, and it plays good. It's honestly, it feels like it was made for the deck, and that's the beautiful thing. A lot of those 5-10-year-old games still look really good now, and they feel like they're perfect for the deck. So if you're a gamer like me who has a big backlog and can go all the way back to emulating games on the Steam Deck, all the way to just 5 years ago, you have a game that you wanted to play, most likely it'll run on the Steam Deck just fine and look fine. Is it 100% perfect? No, but there's other solutions for that. And I would have to say these last 2 years have just been amazing for me, and definitely have elevated my gaming experience because I have less time to sit in front of the computer. That's not work. Usually if I sit in front of the computer, I'm recording videos or I'm working my work job, programming, building my video game. Those are what I'm doing in front of the computer. So I don't necessarily want to stop. Like when I get done with all those, because I'll be putting in 10 to 12 hours a day sometimes, and then go and play a video game right afterwards on my computer. I want to go somewhere else. I want to go sit out in the sun and just enjoy some good old times on the Steam Deck. That is my sales pitch. This is going to be an interesting video. Let me know in the comments below if you like this video. It's just praising the Steam Deck, maybe throwing some faults to it, but it really is such a good device, and I'm really impressed with what Valve did. And it feels like it's going to be a device I could play 10 years down the road because there's so many games that are supported on it, and it feels like a console at this point. And so the Steam Deck 2 will be an amazing upgrade, and I'm going to upgrade day one, of course. But there's something that Valve just did with this, where the Asus ROG Ally and the Legion Go do feel good and can play games from the get-go. It just doesn't beat the experience that the Steam Deck has. It just doesn't. Software-wise and user experience-wise, pulling my developer hat on here, it just does not beat it. So that's what I've got to say. I'm curious what you guys think. You still like your Steam Deck? You want something else? What do you have? I have two devices, so I'm cheating here. If I had to choose one, though, it'd probably be the Steam Deck OLED, which is what I have. The OLED is amazing. I upgraded from the original, and I got to say, if you have not done so, I wouldn't recommend upgrading to the OLED at this point per se, and maybe wait until the Steam Deck 2, unless you play your Steam Deck a lot and you really want a little bit more battery life and that cleaner screen. It does look good. So thank you guys for watching. Check out my other videos, and also check out all the goodies in the links below that help support the channel. And if you haven't thought about doing so, make sure to hit that subscribe button, bash that bell. And also, if you're very generous, you can also join the channel and become a paid member here. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out. Later.